Assalamu alaikum. Oh shit, here we are again. خدای وکیل تاسو جور تازه تقرب بخیر جور باشن بخیر باشن. Hope you're all well. Whew, it's hot here. Of course it's gonna be really hot here. So we've got a very special, my own personal favorite, a well-known, our own Afghan musician today, classical player. Where should I start about him? He's actually 1 year younger than me, so that's heartbreaking. But he's done over probably 8 albums by now since 2014. Classical player, a Rubab player. Lived in Arizona, USA. Hails from there, as far as I know. We'll get more into details about him, but there are like 8 albums that he has done. He's actually award-winning for original song for the movie called The Breadwinner, 2008. Canadian Screen Awards for Best Original Song. I think he's one of our biggest celebrities when it comes to music among the younger generation or the diaspora of Afghans. He's got albums which are my favorites. They're very sassy. Even the titles are pretty kicking the balls. Called Classique in 2015. I'm Afghan. Afghan is currency. Afghan is the currency. Now that's a pretty massive statement, and I love that. And then he's done Tavern of Ruins, and then Volume 2 for I'm Afghan. Afghan is currency. So there's a lot of beautiful pieces that he has written till now. He's covered a lot of our own Afghan very popular songs, going from Motor and to our own folk songs as well. So here we are. I'm gonna allow him in. All right, so legend in making this Ustad Qais Essar himself. I'm nervous that doesn't happen a lot with me. Assalamu alaikum.
Hello.
Ustad, can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you, Ustad. Thank you very much for being here. I'm honored to actually see your face from up close. How you been?
Good, man. Chilling. Just trying to stay warm. It's getting cold here. That's all.
That's it. And I had no idea, actually. This makes me feel very proud that you actually do have a nose ring. Is that a nose ring?
Yeah.
Because I do have a nose. Oh, fucking legend, brother. Legend, Ustad. I never thought that I could be more impressed by what you do, but there you go. Groundbreaking. Ustad Muhtaram, how is life?
Well,
your beard looks beautiful. MashaAllah.
Thank you. Life is good, man. Just it's good to be getting out more, performing more.
Yes, of course.
After the big break, and so yeah, just more or less finding a way back. The world's a little different now, so also we're relearning new cultural norms and stuff and how things are done, and
understandable. Beautifully said that we are learning actually new cultural approaches from this whole new system of the world that has been implemented on us with all these pandemics and whatnot. Ustad Khan, let me tell you a little bit about me and the thing that we do here, Voices from the Mountains. So my name is Mar Mangal. I come from Kabul, Afghanistan. At the moment, I'm in Australia. Pretty hot, as you can see. I'm not trying to show off my biceps, which are non-existent, but it's just hot. It's just too hot. We had a small project, if we could even call it music or art, back in 2008. We were the pioneers of Afghanistan's metal music.
Right.
So we were the so-called the king of extreme genres of Afghanistan. Now, let me tell you this: why were we called the kings? Because They say in the world of blind, the man with one eye is the king, because there was no one else. So it was just us, and somehow we just ended up to be the kings. So, but we were never really that good when it comes to music, for sure. So the band was called the District Unknown, and we did a couple of works. There was some festivals. There was a documentary made about us called Rockabo. If you have heard about it, if not, I can send you the link later on. So we were into all these extreme genres and music, pretty big, loud young boys trying to talk about the struggles of Afghanistan, which was happening even back then, which isn't really uh, not much different from now, even maybe worse in some cases. So we started this podcast trying to help our young kids, our youngsters, those who are up and coming back home, if they want to try any new genres into art, be it music or sculpture or painting, however, and they come across these obstacles in their way. So we wanted to share our own experiences, what we have been through with them, so at least we could inspire them. But post August 15, as we all know, things change. So here we are. What I'm trying to do is bring our own Afghans, inspire our Afghans who have actually left Afghanistan or who are there today, inspire them, motivate them how to keep our culture alive, how to keep our traditions alive, and how to navigate this new life of immigrancy that we are facing right now. So be it for today or be it for the kids in the future, I'm trying to put out a message in the bottle and put it in the ocean so they could find it tomorrow and see what kind of legends and beautiful personalities from Afghanistan we have. So that was about me.
Cool, man.
Uh, and really, really appreciate it. And thank you very much for you to make time for us. I know you're very busy. As I said, you are a king, you are a celebrity, you are the prodigy of the classical Afghan music, brother. So yeah, appreciate a lot. Appreciate, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. I just play the Rubab, man. That's all.
Oh, that's more than a lot of us have done, actually. So yeah, appreciate a lot. You have kept the very Afghan essence alive. So that's
yeah,
that's phenomenal.
I feel like that's what was important for me in the beginning when I first started out. Was a way to preserve, but then it fastly became how do I not only preserve but advance.
Exactly.
And so I think that's what I do now, or what I try to do, what I want to do is
Beautiful.
Sci-fi Rubab music.
Sci-fi robot music.
That's
See,
how
we learn every day. See, like it hasn't even been like 10 minutes for sure, and we already learned something new. So sci-fi robot music. Never heard this.
I just like I like sci-fi, and I like and so you know, applying future themes and that just means that things that that help in my mind um, progress the Rabab forward into the 21st century, right? So by pairing it with you know, in the adage "evolve or die" is very much relevant to music and instruments. And if um, if instruments don't evolve over time, they they just kind of fall out of vogue, and something else replaces it. So for me, I'm just trying to lengthen the life of the Rabab that much more. You know, it's not just in a traditional context. You've seen the Rabab with, you know, it'll be, you know, Rabab, some kind of percussion, dol, dolak, tabla,
Of
daira,
course.
you know, but in you know, I can, or at least with my work, I've been able to present a case to be like, you know, you can also
Fair enough.
pair Rabab with a with like a Moog synthesizer, or like
Yep.
a drum set, or not even. You can produce your own beats and have something contemporary. You can have something that draws. I mean, I've done like math rock, on the Bob, like that, like Midwesty math rock stuff. I've done like lo-fi jazz hop, uh, and whatever in between as far as like the contemporary stuff goes.
Of
And
course.
that is that's that concept of setting the Rabab into the future. It's sci-fi Rabab, so that the Rabab has a future. It's not just something like, oh well, there was once this instrument. Especially because it holds such a um, it holds a very big cultural significance. Not only just for Afghanistan, but for the surrounding areas. And so the Rabab is very special. I've I grew up playing a lot of instruments. I have like
Of
20
course.
in this room.
I can see that.
And it's a cheesy ass story, and it's always the same thing. It's like, what made you play the Rabab? And I always feel stupid saying it, because if I were to read it or hear someone say it, I'd be like, man, that's stupid. Um, but it's like I tuned it up, and for the first time, all I did was just play my saw note, just, and there was something. I don't, this is me having played the guitar, violin, tambour, sitar. On this side, I have all of like
Here.
the other stuff, but yeah, I played. It's not even like there was my whatever this epiphany that I had at such a young age, or this coming to moment. It wasn't because I was not experienced. Yeah, like, oh, it's like the third. I mean, I had played and was playing multiple instruments, but before, and I learned how to play them all pretty quickly. But there was something about this that was like, oof. And
It
it's
just relates. It just
and it's
hits your
it's
soul.
it's something about the sound, and I always describe it as a bubble, right? So when you tune the Rabab correctly, when you play it, there's like a weird bubble that forms.
Okay.
Um, yeah, it's a very small bubble. I'm pretty sure it's just enough room for me, maybe maybe one other person, but it's mostly for me, and it's got this. There's this weight, and I feel like that weight is like almost like the history.
Mhm.
Uh, and so
Cool.
uh, and so yeah, this is a long winding answer, but this is what the Rabab means to me, and this is why I want it to have a future. And so I not only do classical music, but a lot of what I do is also contemporary music, and that's the reason
Of course.
why, so that this instrument can maybe be seen as more than just that is the national instrument of Afghanistan, right?
Yep.
It could be seen as another instrument that could be used to get a specific tone or timbre
Of course.
for any composer, regardless of the genre and stuff. So
Beautiful, beautiful, Ustad. I'm slowly getting overwhelmed. So I've got my Irish coffee here going. So I hope you don't mind. I'm a very, very nervous little man. So I just get overwhelmed by so much wisdom and just this pure soulful feelings of an artist when he actually gets into that zone and he travels. as you described, as a bubble, and not a lot of people can actually feel that or find that part. So I find it really amazing, and I kind of wish that I was ever an artist like that, so soulful, so connected to my soul, that I could find that bubble and just live in that,
But
and
it's nothing.
with that.
But it's nothing to wish. I think it's something. It's everything have to do with alignment, right? Once
Mhm.
once you're aligned with that specific thing that is there for you, then that, and I realize to a lot of people I sound like a weirdo talking about this stuff, but I swear to God it works like tangible things you can touch, right? At least that's how it
Mm.
feels for me. When things align, there's almost like with the Rabab, I feel like that's with everything else that I played. Um, there was like there 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 was something that prevented me from going deeper, right? I can shred you so much shit on the guitar,
Of course you can. Yep.
like I can do all this shit, but there was, but it's not about virtuosity, right? Because virtuosity without like weight is just like jerking off, right? It's just like wanking. It's like no, that's not,
Fair
that's
enough. Yep.
flashy. It's flashy, but it doesn't move people.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And so there was something about the Rabab and the alignment of this instrument with me that allowed me to channel all this other stuff to where then it does become like you're traveling, and not
Beautiful. Yes,
traveling,
exactly.
but like it's like something comes through you, man. When I'm playing on stage live, it's almost as if you check out, and you have to.
Hmm.
You check out because something else has to check in, right?
Exactly.
If you
Exactly.
do
Very
it,
true. Very
if you
true.
do it with that intention, um,
Yep.
uh, yeah, niyat. كل جاب ده نيات as
Yeah.
كلهم.
Yeah. Exactly.
Um, if you if if you're in it for you, there's no wait. If
It
you
happens.
but you're in it for the music, like I'm just a student of music, and I'm just trying to do the best that I
Subhanallah.
to make sense of what I'm hearing.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So the kind I usually have these 4 or 5 icebreaker questions that just to start the whole momentum going. But obviously you you being such a frontman as yourself, you just beautifully took over, and it just went from there very smoothly. So I really appreciate that. But we do have to do this because this will give us some little insights into our Ustad Qais Essar.
Oh,
So I'm going
please.
to ask these, and you can just quickly, whatever comes the first thing in your mind, you can just answer with that. Cool.
Sure.
All right. Beautiful. Thank you. So if you could go back in time and you could meet one historical figure, who would that be, and what would you ask him or her?
Um, I think I could learn a lot about the way the universe works from Nikola Tesla.
Tesla. Beautiful. Okay. And you would ask him about how does the universe works?
He said that the secret of the universe was in the numbers 3, 6, and 9,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
and,
Yep.
and I'm very interested in knowing more.
Beautiful. 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 Well, that's a very, very rare and very out or offbeat from other answers that I've got, and that's pretty awesome. I think I had one more guest, Mina, and she actually said the same thing about Nikola Tesla. So beautiful, beautiful said. I do believe that the secret of the universe is in the numbers. I'm not sure about the 3, but I know about the 69 for sure. Just so you know. So if you were a superhero, what was your superpower?
Um, If I was a superhero, I mean, the first thing that came to my mind was disappear. I just wanted. I'm.
No, please don't do
I.
that.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah. I'm. I keep to myself. I'm a hermit, so I feel like the
Okay.
superpower. Like, all right, I have to disappear now, and then I just disappear, and I just end up
Okay.
superpowers that I can go from anywhere and with a snap be back in my bedroom. Uh,
Oh, okay. 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 Fair enough. Fair enough. I actually relate to that, especially when I'm at work or around some boring people. So I'll be like, I wish I could, but understandable. Okay. Fair enough. So if Qais Essar wakes up a morning and finds himself as a Groundhog Day in Kabul today, how would he use this repetitive life without music?
oh Jesus. Shit.
I know, I know, I know. Some psychotic, insane people with torturous minds write these. I don't know. I don't know
I
what they
mean, but
think.
like that sounds that's
Hell,
and I was like that's like some weird it didn't occur to me
when
that that's actually a reality right now.
hmm,
Uh,
okay, okay, all
so
right, but
uh,
you don't know.
I
Every
don't
day, keep repeating Groundhog Day, and you
I don't
can't
know.
play
Like
music, but you can do everything.
it's it I wouldn't know. This is how I process the world and everything around me. So I don't know.
Fair enough.
That would be a really shitty day to have to live over and over again. And it breaks my heart that this is the reality that people are having.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's like this is a question you're asking me, but there's musicians from from Kharabat right now that went from being employed musicians to having that's it. I mean, they have to just do something else. So um, yeah, I don't. I don't think I have an answer. It just sucks that this isn't a made up question. You know?
Fair enough. Okay. All right. So talent shows. I know you have got a experience of that. Talent shows. Describe it in one sentence.
Talent show? Talent show
Yeah.
sucks.
Sucks. Sucks.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Talent show
I
sucks.
I agree. 110%. 110%. 110%. And we will get into that a little bit more in details in a bit. So last thing, popularity in mainstream or authenticity in a small circle.
Oh, come on, man. Of course. It's what the fuck does popularity mean? It don't mean nothing. Um I'd rather I'd rather have two awesome fans than 2,000 whatevers, you know. No.
Bravo. 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 Thank you very much. All right. That was a good round. That was a very quick, as we say, a rapid fire for us. Thank you very much. All right. Give us a little bit about Qais Essar for maybe for some reason people like me live under a rock. Where do you hail from? And were you born in the US? Did you move
Yeah,
to
yeah.
US?
I was born in Arizona, and then we moved around, and then ended up back here, and now I live in the mountains, in the forest somewhere, in a small little town.
Wow. And the love for music started from what genre?
What genre?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the only thing I knew until I went to school was just it was either something in Dari or Farsi or Pashto, right? So it was
Right.
Afghan music.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Uh,
All right.
yeah.
And then from there, actually, you did venture into other genres as well,
It was
Western American? No.
it was everything because they listened. My mom listened to a bunch of like Western stuff, and so it was just a good mix. Yeah, no, that's not true. Yeah, I got a good mix of stuff. I got like disco and stuff from my mom and ABBA and all that stuff, and then start Reinbachside and start Hafenside
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
from my dad.
Subhanallah. Subhanallah. Beautiful. So we did go over this. Where did the love of Rubab actually started? As you said, you just had this feeling about it since the first time you tuned it and you played it. Uh, did it actually occur to you ever that I should go and look for other instruments, or does string instruments attracted you from the start? I mean, why not some key instruments or rhythmic instruments? What was the beauty of just strings?
I have long, skinny, gangly fingers. That's why, because I'm good with my
Fair
fingers.
enough.
Uh,
You're good with your fingers. Fair enough. Okay.
I have long, fast, nimble fingers.
And
Uh,
you knew this from the start, hey?
and it's not
You just knew your gift.
and they're not. Yeah, they're made for strings, so I can play stuff with strings.
Fair enough. Beautiful. All right. All right. So, as you said, you are a classical musician, of course. With coming to Rubab, and it's such a, I should say, kind of a beautiful instrument which blends into folk and classical
Uh-huh.
music for sure, right? Uh, Having to tell people, how do we see the difference between, where do we draw the line of folk and classical, especially Afghan music? How would you?
Oh, there's it's just like two different genres of music, man. There's like classical music, right? And that's presented a certain way. And then there's folk music, and folk music is collections of songs from different parts, the different mahals, like around the country. And we refer to that as folk music, musiqi mahli. And
Mahli?
when you want to get specific, you would be like musiqi mahli Logar, right? Or Mahli, Badakhshi or wherever. But I mean, that's the difference is the way that it's presented. Classical music is, you know, um, rag based, and so it's a rag performed and presented in a specific way, and folk music is just a collection of songs that came from the culture. You know, uh, the
Any?
the rababs differ for those, like for the big ones. The big ones are for classical music, at least for me, because the way that I play, I like to get a vocal quality out of the rabab, and so with the bigger strings, I'm sorry, with the bigger rabab, I put in thicker strings, a bigger gauge, and then I tune it down lower, and this way I'm able to get more sustain. But the folk ones are tuned up an octave, and they're smaller, they're higher pitched, and yeah, that's folk music.
Beautiful. Any specific particular folk song that you love to play all the time?
Um, any trying to think of something. Mm,
Oh,
Shako Kujan. It's fun.
SubhanAllah, it's beautiful, beautiful Ustad.
Yeah, it
Ustad, bravo, bravo. Thank you.
reminds me of like my aunts and stuff when everyone used to like get together and sing when we were younger.
In what age did you actually started to play? What age?
7. I was that's 7 when I
7.
started playing stuff. Yeah, I
Beautiful,
think that's what
beautiful.
my violin.
الحمدلله استاد ماشاءالله استاد ماشاءالله در انگشتای شما برکت باشه
Oh, زنده باشی.
انشالله.
No ustad, man. Just me, just a Rubab player, just one of many.
Well, for me, this lesson has been embedded in my brain since a very young age. And my dad said, because my mom and dad, they're both teachers, and my dad said, whoever teaches you a single word, that's your teacher. So we have been learning a lot from you before this, and actually with this whole interview right now. So thank you very much. Did you ever come across the struggle of assimilating into the Western culture or the United States, be it with your music or be it as Afghan yourself?
So my experience may be a little bit different. I grew up with no Afghan people around home. Like when we like came to age, like around 10, around 10 we moved out to a place where it's just a bunch of white people, and that's cool, but it just makes it that much more weirder, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That you're clearly different, and but it was after high school, you know after that, when you're able to kind of branch out and exposed to different things, I started to kind of use the culture that like I felt that alienated me as like my like everything, like Bozu Shawnats, what helped me get through. It's what gave me kind of like a purpose, in the beginning, especially. Because a lot of it for me was it was two things. It was these people are not qualified to introduce Afghanistan to the rest of the world. Because what they share, excuse me, I have a dog here. What they share is, they have their own specific intention, and their intention is money, so that they're going to focus on violence and sex and fundamentalism and all this shit. That's what sells. And I was like, well, I think there should be another narrative, and so I may not be super qualified, but at least it's a different voice. So did I feel like I had to assimilate? No. But I felt just the audacity of the idea of people having to fit in a place that is a patchwork of a bunch of different cultures and places anyways. Like, what is acting American? The fuck does acting American mean, right? Like, there's American Punjabis in like Queens. There's American Chinese people in San Francisco. They all like live American and lives that represent the culture from where they're from. Um, it never made sense to assimilate. Um, and in music, no. Music, that's the whole point of making music, is to make, for me, is to make the music that isn't there, right? If you compromise on that, then what's the point? Music or art in general should not be compromised due to whatever's going on in the popular culture at the time, or else it's not a true expression of the moment. It's something that's catered to a group of people. So, there's no fuck assimilation. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, because that question comes from, or it's inspired from, we've had a lot of different artists from different parts of the world when they travel into big markets like the US or Europe. And for them, I think the difference between those people and true artists as yourself is that they make compromises only to find bigger audiences. So for them, I think they lose the authentic art, what they had brought in, only to make more money or to find more fame. But obviously, in your case, as you actually said, it's nothing to do with that. For you, what actually matters is your music and is your art. So obviously, you were a one man army and you had the balls to actually go ahead and not care about assimilating or
It's not, it's
compromising,
not,
whatever.
it's a, like I said this the other day to somebody. It's not having like, I had just like this blind, dumb faith. And I still do. I have no idea how I'm doing what I'm doing. All right, man. Listen, like I am a Rubab player in America. Playing like, Afghan music and like mixing it, this and that, and I'm able to do this, and uh it's really incredible. um
See, it's because you're so humble. So God gives you more and gives you more recognition for what you actually worth. Because you've actually repeated this, that I'm just a Rubab player, but you're not just a Rubab player. You are a award-winning songwriter.
uh
So I think your intention, as you said, your niyat was soft, and that's how
I think,
niyat is soft, anzala song.
yeah, I feel like that's the way it has to be. What's wrong? Sorry, my
But that's all good. The beauty of life, the beauty of love, life, my friend.
absolutely.
Raw.
Feel like there's a feel like I hear like a thumping outside. Anyway, sorry.
I hope you've got a shotgun with all those instruments somewhere. You might find that useful at times. Hey, it is America, right? You have the right to bear arms.
Well, let's take a walk.
Let's have a tour. Let's have a tour. Here we are. Here we are. First time. First time. And it's happening on Voices from the Mountains. Here we go. A personal tour of Ustad Essar's
No,
personal space.
I don't think we're gonna.
Personal space.
Just I think it's just a windy
It's just a windy night out. That's all. Come on, boy. Anyways, so yeah, sorry, our discussion
That's all good.
a little
All
cut,
good.
but yeah. Thank you. I don't know much about the awards and stuff, but I just do what I do, and I try to do it honestly. You know, that's all anyone can do.
Well, that takes a lot, my friend, because when you spend 2 decades of your life at least, perhaps even more, trying to work on your craft, and you don't expect anything in return, but you want to live in that bubble of love and your art. That takes a lot, because some people, they find it hard to accept that, hey, I have worked so long and so hard in perfecting my craft, so I deserve something back from the society or people, and people have to recognize me. It's something, but that comes from the ego, right?
Yeah,
It's
that's right. That
it, it
yeah, I think it's just about being honest. Be honest, make an honest expression. If it's something that's honest, it's going to be able to resonate with
that's it.
with anybody, because basic emotions that we have everyone shares. It's the common denominator that bonds us all. We all feel sad, we all feel happy, we all feel worried, we all feel all these things. And I mean, that's what award-winning songs are, right? It's just a song that is able to touch someone at a level that sticks with them for a while, like I suppose. So the more honest the expression, the deeper it penetrates someone. That sounds a little weird, but you know.
No, I think it just it depends on the person's own mind, how they actually perceive that beautifully described emotion, as you just said. Because the Afghanistan, we say موسیقی که در دل چنگ میزنه.
That's right.
It just hooks onto your soul and to your heart. That's when you actually feel that, okay, this is something that I want, or I love, and I find attraction. Because for me, in no regards I consider myself a musician, but I'm a music lover, obviously, and I come from a very big line of music lovers. And one thing that I learned throughout this time is, I have lived in India, and I have lived in Pakistan, I have lived in Turkey and Afghanistan, so I was exposed to a lot of different genres and styles and whatnot. But for me, it's I'm very critical of what music is, and what is actually soulful. Because when I go to listen to a new song, or somebody tells me to, okay, you should go and listen to this blah blah song, and I go there and I give it maybe at most perhaps 30 seconds most. But if it's a rock song, if it's a riff derived music, I give it only 10 seconds, and that's about it. If that hits me, if that changes if in those 10 or 15 seconds it actually hooks into my soul, I'm like, this is beautiful. And why am I talking about that? Because this was actually, I did hear that performance of yours, and I think it was the Persian talent show, or that. So, but I actually listened to it this morning, and I swear to God, Bakhuda, I don't have to impress you or lie to you or anything, but that whole performance and the outcome of it, that I will allow you to speak about it if you wanted to. But your performance was so heartfelt, so soulful, that I was actually crying. Not because who you are, not because how beautifully and skilled a young individual you are, but that performance was so beautiful. And it rarely happens that I get tear in my eyes unless the music is soulful, and it was soulful. And the outcome of it, that reminded me of the whole situation for us, Afghana and Afghanistan, right? Do you want to talk about that?
No,
if you
I
wanted
will
to.
just say, all I'll say is that we did play well. Neil had like pneumonia, I think, and I had just come off of a 1 month tour of England, and yeah, and so it was good to see. It was good to see my buddy before heading back home. I'd been on the road for a month. That was fun.
Beautiful. Okay, because obviously the applause that the people were actually
Oh,
giving
people
you,
loved
that
that.
says
Yeah,
everything.
the people there fucking loved it. They
People loved it,
they dug
and
it.
that what actually that matters, because that was phenomenal. That was phenomenal music.
Thanks, man.
And obviously, hopefully someday we would have. I'm gonna give a shout out to Ustad Nilamjit.
Yeah,
He's a phenomenal player.
Neil's the one.
Ustad ji, hello, Sat Sri Akal, Salam Alaikum. Hope you're well. Thank you very much. Hopefully someday we will have you both here. Hopefully, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Hopefully we will have you both here and talk about your friendship and this whole experience of the duo. So do you want to go into a little bit about, we can't really skip over this one because it's a very big one for us all, Afwana. What was your experience post 9/11?
I mean, I told you I was like, we were in a place that there was no our people,
Afwan?
and all of a sudden, it's like you go from being culturally ambiguous to one of those people, and so
Oh yeah.
uh, people were scared. That's what I remember specifically. There was there was a sick man that was like shot and killed here in Phoenix because he was wearing a turban, and so from then everyone just like spooked. You were spooked because now a bunch of white people just want to like kill brown people, and two, you also fucking live here, so you're an American that has to be afraid of like terrorists too, right? It's like
Exactly.
and so it's like, it's like, yeah, it's like like, if someone's gonna terrorize this shit, we're gonna get terrorized too.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah, because they don't choose which colors they want to go and kill. They will kill everyone, anyone. Exactly. Now, this begs the question of, because as we say, insan zode muhitas, right? You have to live in the society, and the impact of the society or the people's behavior towards you. Did it impact your music and what you were doing, like when it comes to your spirit? Did it hurt you? Did it actually come out from your heart?
like I said, it made me want to show people what I thought Afghanistan was like, and that was all the music stuff. It it helped set forth all the stuff that I'm doing now because everything was so grossly misrepresented. That, and side note, I also wanted to like make it so that Afghan music had just like more than just one genre, and that genre being wedding music. Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Well, it's it is, and this is like the thing we can like end with because we're gonna bump into time,
Well,
but
yep.
there's a difference between art and entertainment.
Yep.
Okay, and so I've talked about this many times, and Dishtango, Bangaga, and all these like Kalacharbat guys. This is something that serves a purpose. It entertains people. It makes people feel good. It's there. It's for dancing, right?
Yep. Yep.
It serves that purpose. Art is
Fair
different.
enough.
Art art is different. Art is consumed differently, right? Entertainment is the jingle or whatever, or the backing track or the music track that you hear like at stores or in the elevator. This is background music. This is how that kind of music is consumed, uh, passively, right? In your peripheral.
Exactly.
That's entertainment.
Beautiful.
Art, I mean, this is, again, my opinion. This could be a bunch of horseshit, but this is the way that I look at things. Art is different. Art is consumed differently. And I always use the example of like a painting, right? So if you were to go to a museum, just like you would like peripherally kind of like put this other shit in the background, can you look at a piece of art like that? No. You have to, like, you sit and you stand in front of it, you stare at it, right? It stares at you. It makes you feel things, and then you process those things, like, what is this? How's it making? And it's this whole exchange, right? That's
Beautiful.
what I feel art is, and art doesn't just have to be like, it's not just where we're talking about the painting specifically, but music is that too. And it's like music that provokes thought, not just provokes dance, right? It's like we're always dancing,
Exactly.
like everyone's
True.
and I get it. There's a market for that. There's a time and place, sure, but I also want it to be like, there's more than, there can be more than just, wedding music.
Fair enough. Understandable. Understandable. And it makes all the sense. Ustad Khan, there is like three questions here. Would you mind if I just tell you that really quickly? There's one question from Frishta John Tayyib says, I use your album Kava Am Afghan. Afghani is currency as one of my slides for cultural competency training. You have been quite popular in the resettlement world. So that's a compliment, obviously, for you, no doubt.
Thank you.
And then we've got from very popular Afghan page, or I should say critique, but Kadi says, Qais, you got to make some Rubab plus trance tracks. So I'll leave that to you. Rubab and trance.
I'm actually working on something like that right now.
There you go. Okay. Can we have a little bit of that?
No, you can't have a little bit of
sneak peek? No? All right, we're going to wait. We're going to wait. Ustad Khan, before we take any more of your precious time, we really admire that you made time for us. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Your last takeaway, a message to especially Afghan artists who have migrated now in Europe or Americas, or the ones who are back home and struggling. What would your heartfelt message for them be?
Oh, put it in music. Put it in a song. I know it. That I've. If you're going through something, put it in a song. If I'm speaking to the young musicians, this is the way you express yourself, and put it in a song. It's not something that it's something that will help you get through what you're going through, and hopefully you're left with something beautiful to look back at and help other people with. There's stuff that I've written for myself, going through some shit, and you put it in a song, and you'll get someone else that will message you, like, at some point, and be like, and will tell you exactly how they felt, and I've read it and be like, that's exactly how I felt, right? And so that's the great thing about expressing yourself honestly, is that it always resonates with someone else. And so with anyone that has the ability to craft melodies and stuff, which all of us do, but specifically these musicians abroad now or back home, is is that you're given this gift, and this gift is not something to be thrown away or wasted, and it's a gift that will help you get through whatever hardship that that you're facing. That's just me speaking out of whatever I have very, compared to the problems people are facing. For me to say we'll just write a song about it is, I'm not sure if that fits, but
And
yeah.
of course, to just add to your words of wisdom a little bit, is to keep it authentic, keep it soulful, keep it real, right? As you have done it and as you do. So thank you very much, Ustad Khan.
No problem.
Thank you very, very much. I really admire that you made time for us and made us learn a lot of things. I hope that all our Afghan musicians back home and today, they have, once they get resettled, they will listen to your beautiful wisdom and they will act on it to keep our culture and our art alive, no matter how far they are or for how long they will be apart. So Sada Khan, thank you very much. If there's anything you want to add at the end, we're here.
No, thank you for having me, and good luck with everything.
My pleasure.
I hope that you're able to reach far and wide, and that good thing.
Inshallah. تشکر بسیار از استاد Khan. I wish you the very best, and I hope to hear your trance Rubab mashup or fusion. We're gonna be waiting for that, and hopefully someday you will come back to sit with us and with your friend Ustad Nilamji. So I think we've had some issues, but should I wait for you, Ustad? I think it's paused or something did happen. So, all right. So, thank you very much, guys. This was Voices from the Mountains with our young maestro in the making, the prodigy of Afghanistan's classical music, Qais Essar. I will post links for his SoundCloud and his website and music. You can go check it out. This is Lamar from Voices